Okay, so let's move on now and consider data and information. Now, as we know, role of management accountants is to provide information to help the management run the organisation effectively. However, that information doesn't always just present itself. Often what we have to do as management accountants is take various sets of data and process them so they are then useful and good information for management. So let's drill down into a bit more detail into these two things. So as we said, making decisions, management require information and good information at that. Now, accounting, so management accountants within the business, if you like, one of the key things they need to do is present financial information, also non-financial information as well, but in a format which is suitable for management to make these decisions. Now, a lot of that information will be based on the data that we get from our accounting system. Obviously, in our accounting system, we'll be recording all different types of things, such as the sales that we're making to different customers, the purchases that we're making from our suppliers, the costs associated with running our equipment, the costs associated with paying our employees, and so on and so forth. So there's loads of data there in our system, which we need to extract, process, and then put that into a format which is suitable for management to make good decisions, i.e. give them some good information. So we've got an example here on screen. So first of all, data. Data is what we call the raw material for data processing. It's kind of facts, figures, etc., which on their own really aren't overly useful. So an example here might be, okay, maybe we can get from our accounting system for a particular product or service that we produce and sell, the total number of units sold in a day. Okay, so that would be, a typical piece of data. Now, on its own, that would not be overly useful because there's no context, there's no frame of reference there for that particular piece of data. So what we'd want to do as a management accountant is we want to process that data and turn it into information. Pretty much make it something useful, which is useful for management to consider. So an example of information, as it says there, where it's data that has been processed in such a way that it is meaningful to the person who uses it. And so an example could be if we take that data of the total number of units sold in a day, but actually we then have a look and make a comparison to maybe the previous day or the same day of the previous week. And so therefore we have something like the percentage change in daily sales. Then all of a sudden we have a frame of reference. We have a comparison that we basically are making between one piece of data and another. So in that particular scenario, we can see whether or not we've increased or decreased our daily sales. And then that might inform some decision making. So you can see there how the data on its own, the total number of units sold in a day, is pretty useless really. But when we convert that into information, i.e. how much have sales changed on a daily basis, all of a sudden now management has, a piece of the jigsaw, if you like, if they're making decisions around sort of increasing sales and so on. Okay, so this slide really just summarizes this and just goes down into a little bit more detail as well. So, it gives us a scenario that we're a new manager in a particular department. And so we get our sales report and it says, right, okay, we sold 150 units in the month. Now, of course, if we're a new manager in a department we haven't managed before, well, we'd have no frame of reference. We don't know what a typical level of sales units in a month would be. So therefore, we can't really make any decisions based on that piece of data. It isn't information. However, as we've then said, what we could do is we could then make a comparison and we could work out, for example, that maybe there's a percentage increase or decrease in the daily sales. And if we work out actually, compared to maybe the prior month or something like that, there's a 10% increase, we can have a look and say, right, okay, well, as far as relative performance is concerned, purely based on that information we have, that 10%, we could maybe say, okay, well, this is good or bad performance. Now, in reality, we then need other information to truly work out whether or not this represents good or bad sales performance. Let's say for argument's sake, we've worked out that, our units have increased 10% compared to the previous month. And we think, oh, well, that sounds fantastic. But actually, when we consider some additional information, maybe the month under consideration is usually our stellar month. We're a seasonal cyclical business. And actually what we'd normally expect is a 20% increase. So therefore, all of a sudden, that 10% doesn't look so favourable. But it's certainly a piece of the jigsaw, okay? So that information is definitely useful. So I suppose what we've got to consider as management accountants is we've got to make sure we are providing that good information, Okay, now what we have is a useful acronym to help us remember the characteristics or the qualities of good information. And this acronym is ACCURATE, and it does actually start with the A for accurate. Now, we can never have perfect information, okay? There'll always be some uncertainties. There might even be a bit of guesswork in some of the information that we provide to our management. But the key thing is our information needs to be accurate enough, which would then allow management to make their decision. So think about maybe something like an investment appraisal. Maybe we're forecasting, we're going to open a new factory and we're forecasting ahead 10 years in the future. There's no way we can do that with 100% certainty. But there are things that we can do to hopefully make them forecasts accurate enough. Therefore, it is their good information which we're providing to management to make their decisions. Information needs to be complete, i.e. it needs to reflect all the things that the user needs to consider on which they are making their decisions. So go back to that previous example, that 10% increase in monthly sales. Now actually that would be incomplete information because we also need to think about external information. What's the competition doing? What's the market doing? So we've got to make sure we have everything included which is going to help that user make the decision that they are looking to make. There's a real cost benefit involved with producing this information. Management accountants, accounting systems, data processing is not costless for a business. So we need to make sure that actually the information we're providing, the value it's adding, if you like, outweighs the cost. It needs to be user friendly. Okay, so it needs to basically be prepared and suitable for the audience that it's intended for. So if it's a high-level management report, it needs to be presented in that way. If it's something like a low-level daily sales report, then it needs to be super simple and just simply show the information that should be required within that. Okay, so this obviously would massively change depending on the audience. So it needs to be suitable for the audience it's intended for. Now, a big part of management accounting is thinking about relevance, okay? So when we are providing information to management, it should be relevant to the decision which has been taken. Any irrelevant stuff should be excluded, okay? So that is super, super important, and you'll see that time and time again in management accounting. It needs to be trustworthy, or if you like, authoritative, okay? So therefore, the user needs to have confidence that the information they have is good information, that actually they can make solid, sound business decisions based on that. Really super important, it needs to be timely. A lot of organizations, fast-paced, decisions made on a regular basis. So for example, if we're trying to work out our selling prices for next month and our marketing campaign, if you like, well, it's no good if we have to wait 6 weeks for the previous month's data on sales because, well, the time in which we can make effective decisions has already lapsed. So therefore, good information needs to be timely. And it needs to be easy to use. Remember, we have that freedom of management accountants. We can present things in any way that we want. And so therefore, it needs to be easy to use. So if, for example, we are producing the sales report for the sales manager, there's no value in us chopping and changing the format of that each time. Okay, so we need to make sure that the person that picks that up and is using that information to make their decisions, they find that easy to use. So therefore, we have our ACCURATE acronym, which helps us remember the qualities of good information. So super, super important. Now, as we've already alluded to, the type of information that we're providing to management really will vary. And that will vary based on essentially where the management sits in the organization, if you like. So a nice way to think about our types of information is essentially we could break it down according to the sort of different tiers of decision making within the business. So strategic information, very much used at the top level of the business. So if you like, it's going to help us understand whether or not we're achieving our long-term strategic objectives. So a typical example of strategic information might be, well, let's say for argument's sake, our objective was to increase our market share over the next 5 years. So one thing we'd be able to provide to management, senior management within the business in this case, is a report which might give information on our percentage increase in company market share. So have we taken some customers away from our competitor? Are we Pepsi? We're obviously benchmarking ourselves against Coca-Cola. Have we increased our market share in comparison? And that would be very much strategic information, I should say, because, that's a long-term strategic objective. Your tactical information would tend to be sort of geared around more medium-term decisions, if you like. So a time horizon around about 1 year, give or take. And so good examples of tactical information, big part of what management accountants do, is what we call variance analysis. Okay, so variance analysis is all about, right, we set our budgets, we then go for a particular period and we make comparisons between our actual results and our budgeted results. And so one thing we can do therefore is calculate variances. And we can have a look at variances for sales, for costs, and basically we can see whether or not performance was better, in line, or worse than expected. And that's kind of tactical stuff. We might do our variances on a quarterly basis, annual basis, maybe even a monthly basis if you like. But it's sort of that sort of medium-ish term sort of time horizon really. Operational tends to be day to day. And so a good example of operational information might be something along the lines of, okay, well, maybe we are providing information to our production managers or shift duty managers, if you like. And what we're doing is providing information on, our raw material usage. Okay, so given the number of units that we produced as a business, did we use more or less raw materials than what we would have expected? And that would be a pretty regular occurrence that we be providing that operational information. And so loads of things can change depending, if you like, on the sort of the level within the business that we're providing that information for. So strategic information, I should say, tends to be much more aggregated. Operational information would tend to be much more detailed, focusing on just one particular thing. And so, just basic saying as management accountants within the business, we've got to make sure that we're providing the information that is required for the different management within the organisation.